Hello, you are listening to Never Seen It, a podcast about movies we haven't seen. I'm one of your hosts, Betsy, and with me is my co-host, Trent.
Hey, Betsy.
Hi, Trent. Today, we are watching yet another movie that neither of us has seen.
Yeah.
We are going back 31 years. I feel old. 31 years to 1991. We are watching Point Break.
Point Break? What's that?
What's that? Well, Trent, why don't you tell me what it is?
I have no idea. It is another Keanu movie. Hey, it's a mini Keanu thing.
Well, not so much. We're only watching the one. We're not doing a series.
Hey, for those listeners who have been around for a while, we did a Keanu-thon, much like we did a Cage-a-thon just recently. Go back and listen to those Keanu movies. But today we're going to watch this here movie starring Keanu Reeves and Patrick Swayze.
Yes, sir.
And Betsy, I don't think I've ever seen a Patrick Swayze movie.
Genuinely?
I'm racking my brain here. I don't think I've seen one.
Okay, no, you've seen one that he's in, but it's not a Patrick Swayze movie. You've seen Donnie Darko.
Oh, okay. I watched
Donnie
Darko once with you in your apartment when we were dating, and I hardly remember anything about Donnie Darko.
That's the only time you've seen Donnie Darko?
Yes.
That's weird. I watched it like a month ago.
But other than that, I've never seen Ghost or what was it? Like Dirty Dancing or any of the ones that he's known for.
No, we're going to have to remedy that eventually, guys.
Eventually. Hey, we have an entire 80s thing planned. I don't know when the hell we're going to do it because we have so many other series ideas in our head.
You could do a whole series that's just Patrick Swayze 80s movies.
Of course. But anyway, no, I don't. I know that this is a movie that has something to do with surfing and crime.
That's on the poster. It's about surfing and crime. It's a weird tagline,
I just don't know.
So
one more thing. In Avengers, they make reference to Point Break, the movie. Tony Stark is saying that to Thor.
Yeah,
he's referring to him as Point Break.
He always calls him Point Break.
Which is, I think, the Patrick Swayze character. Because he's blonde and good looking, maybe? I don't know.
Listen, I don't know if it's called Point Break because it's a nickname. I don't know if it's a location. It sounds like a surfing term.
Yeah.
Breaking something.
Like Blue Crush is, I'm sure, a surfing term.
Right. And I don't know anything about surfing, so who the hell knows?
We are a extremely landlocked place.
Yes. I do find it funny that both of us, our context for this movie is not the movie itself, but rather other movies that reference this movie. Right. So for me, I think of two movies when it comes to Point Break.
All right.
The first one is a movie from the early 2000s called Sugar and Spice, which is about a group of cheerleaders who decide to rob a bank.
Yes.
And they hatch their plan by watching other movies about bank robberies.
Okay.
And this is one of the movies they watch.
Fine.
The other one I always think of is Hot Fuzz. Because the Nick Frost character makes Simon Pegg's character watch it because they have a movie night and he's never seen it. Oh. And it's all about that's a buddy cop movie.
Okay.
And he's talking about you've never fired your gun in the air and gone, ah!
Uh-huh.
So yeah, I have little other references about this movie, but I've never actually watched this. Yeah. Which, going back to talking about Keanu Reeves, this was made in 1991, so he is by far not the main actor for this movie. That would definitely go to Patrick Swayze for the time this came. Sure, because he was
a big star in the 80s, and up to this point, Keanu really hadn't done much of anything other than the Bill and Ted movies.
Yeah.
That he got known for anyway.
It was still a few more years before he did Speed, so this is Keanu Reeves on the rise.
Speed was 94?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So he was not known as an action star in any capacity.
No.
Up until this point.
It's weird that this movie exists in that context and has gone on to, I think, after the fact become more popular because he became more popular.
I suppose.
To the point that this movie has a remake, which I mentioned right before we started recording, and
Right.
you didn't even remember that.
They remade this thing?
Yeah, I don't remember what year, but I think it was in the last decade, which makes sense because unfortunately we've now lived long enough to see things from when we were kids get remade.
Right.
Everything from the 80s in particular, it feels like,
Sure.
and now we're tiptoeing into the 90s for stuff that's getting a remake. And it's just going to keep getting worse as we get older.
Hollywood is bankrupt for ideas, and all we're going to get is remakes and like adaptations of things that already exist.
You know, it's so funny that people always say that, but that's how Hollywood has always been. Why do you think we have 4 versions of A Star is Born? We have 5 versions of The Shop Around the Corner. We have all of these movies that have been done and done and done for decades. Yeah. It's just that some of them you don't touch. You can get away with remaking something like Point Break because it came, they did it, it's over. Like when we did RoboCop, I forgot they remade RoboCop.
Yeah, they made a new RoboCop, and they also remade Total Recall, and another one we covered.
Oh, there's tons of them. They did Red Dawn. They did a remake of that a few years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not that they're any good. They might be great. No one cares, though.
Yeah. And I guess nostalgia is a very powerful drug. I'll be the first to admit. So I will go and see a lot of these remakes, especially if they are based on things that I am aware of. Like, we went to go and see that Beauty and the Beast live action kind of a remake thing in the theater. We don't go to things a lot in the theater, especially kids' movies like that. But, you know, it was pretty well done. There's going to be a Little Mermaid one coming out. And, you know, I'm okay with it as long as it's done with care. Not just to put it out to make some money. You got a lot of people who have some really tightly held feelings about these old movies.
Old movies.
I was just going to say, oh, God, I'm talking about old movies. Like, shit came out when we were kids.
Well, to bring it back to this one, as far as like actual content of the movie, I don't know anybody else who's in this.
Yeah.
I'm thinking it's one of two things. Either they're all just criminals or one of them is actually a cop and he's infiltrating the group. That's my guess. I think there's only 2 roads this can go down.
Yeah.
For the kind of movie it is.
Yeah.
And yeah, I know it's got something to do with surfing and robberies.
Fine. You know, I'm kind of thinking, oh, Jesus, is this going to be like a proto Fast and Furious kind of a movie?
Yes.
But on surfboards?
Yes, Trent, that's what everything is a proto Fast and Furious movie. And now it's all a post Fast and Furious movie.
There's still going to be more coming out, damn it.
Oh my God, why are there more Fast and Furious movies coming out? We'll be there. I don't care anymore.
We will cover them when they come out. I promise you.
But that's gonna be in the future. Right now, we're gonna go watch this movie. We are gonna go watch Point Break 1991, and we will be right back. And we are back. And Trent, when the point breaks, the wave it will fall, and down will come Swayze, Patrick, and all.
All right. How long have you been cooking that one up?
Like 12 whole seconds. What did you think of this one?
That was the movie.
It's a little bit of a mixed bag for me. Yeah. I think we have one fundamental problem with this, and it's the fact that we saw this movie after we saw Fast and Furious.
Oh, you think there's some comparisons, do you? To the Fast and the Furious, circa 2001.
There were a few things that were similar, yes.
Yeah.
Just a few. And it was to the point that in the middle of the movie, I was thinking it and you yelled it. You went, "It's Toretto, Brian."
It's Toretto, Brian. It's always been Toretto.
So yeah, they have the same basic structure. So clearly whoever wrote The Fast and Furious was inspired by this movie or was a fan. If not, it is a massive, massive coincidence, which I don't buy for a second.
No, not at all.
Because you've got this robbery at the beginning.
Yep.
And then you've got the FBI guy. Mm-hmm. And they have a hunch that it's this group. They've got to get in this particular culture of people. Or in this case, surfers.
Yep.
And he weasels his way in.
And there are multiple crews of street racers or surfers.
And there is another crew that they suspect maybe is who it is it's not.
The cop fucks up and fingers the wrong group and says they're the ones who are doing it on a hunch. Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, there's enough evidence here to do a raid. And then it's not them. It's just a bunch of low-level shit.
Yep.
In this movie, however, there's a little bit of an extra wrinkle because there was actually another undercover cop with that crew who was trying to bust out much bigger fish.
Yep. And then we come to the conclusion that it is, in fact, this other group.
Yep.
And now he's too close, and what's he gonna do?
There's also a love interest that has a relationship with the main guy.
An existing relationship
in Fast and Furious, it's a brother-sister. In this case, it is like ex-girlfriend and boyfriend.
Yep.
And then the cop gets too close to the girl, gets her involved, and seriously, when they were sitting there, he doesn't want to say what he wants to say. I just said, "Mia, I'm a cop. Mia, I'm a cop."
And then it does veer off at a certain point. It veers off, and the Patrick Swayze character in that group, they're not as squeaky clean. They're a lot worse, and he starts making really bad decisions, and people start getting hurt and dying.
Yeah.
Whereas in Fast and Furious, there's sort of a happy ending, and that's why there's 9 of them now.
There's still, like Vince gets all fucked up. His arm gets all fucked up during the robbery at the end.
Yep.
And Brian says, "Oh yeah, these truckers are arming themselves. You guys are gonna get killed the next job that you try to pull."
He tries to warn them, basically. So there's a lot of similarities to the beats and the basic structure of this movie.
Yeah.
And I can't blame this movie for that because
Absolutely
Fast and Furious is the one ripping it up from
Exactly.
that.
And I think if that movie didn't exist and I didn't like that movie, I probably would have really liked this movie more. But in the end, I would say this is a good movie. I enjoyed myself. It's not great.
I think it had some problems with pacing and character development because I didn't really get the vibe that he was actually that close to Bodhi. Like, by the time that they were saying, "Oh, you're getting too close," I was like, really? Because I don't think they're that friendly with each other.
I agree with you. I don't think they were that close, but I do believe that Keanu Reeves' character, Johnny Utah.
God, don't.
He was getting close to what he represented. He was getting close to the lifestyle of these other guys.
Yeah.
Who are way into extreme sports and adrenaline rushes and all this other extreme shit.
It's a different kind of thrill seeking when you are in the military or you are in the FBI.
Yeah.
There is a certain part of your brain, it still scratches that itch. Yeah. It's just that these guys basically eat, sleep, breathe, they live it.
He even says you don't have to put a needle in your arm, you don't have to smoke anything. This is just pure adrenaline. It's the cleanest high you're ever going to get.
Yep, and they live for it. They say the whole thing is they only hit these banks in Los Angeles in the summer months. So that's the season for surfing.
Right.
And then they go somewhere else. They go to fucking Maui. They go to, the Caribbean. We don't fucking know where they go when
Australia.
They're not in LA.
Yeah.
But that's their whole reason. Their whole motivation is just to exist doing this.
Right.
They don't have jobs. They don't do anything else. They live to surf. And it's a whole fucking culture. And I don't know a lot about surf culture, but I know it is a culture.
It's a full ass thing.
It is, you know, they have their own language that they speak, which is why I was like, what the fuck is Point Break? And they use it in the movie. And it's just basically like a term for the waves, you know?
Yeah.
But it's, you get your ass up at the break of dawn, you go out and surf all fucking day, or you do it before work, or you do it after work, or these guys do it at nighttime.
Your free time is nothing but that.
Yeah, like there's the scene where Keanu has to take the surfboard into the office because it's too big to fit in his car and the doors won't lock.
Right.
So they're just carrying surfboards around.
Right, and even like Taylor, the girl, she's got a day job. She works at a restaurant.
Yep.
So she gets up early to go and teach him surf lessons at 6 o'clock in the morning. You're not going to be working that early.
No.
For the most part.
But
most restaurants are not open that early.
They've probably got a good 3-4 hours. If she works at a restaurant, she probably doesn't have to be there till the lunch rush.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's just all their waking hours, they're thinking about surfing, and while they're working at their regular jobs, it is an entire thing.
And of course, surfing is fucking hard.
Yeah.
It's not easy. Like, for him to have to be taught, like, they have, like, the training sequence where she's like, get up, hop, jump, gotta pop up. And that is not easy to do. Like, they make it look easy because these guys do it every single day.
Yeah.
They get their asses up at the crack of dawn. They go, they try this, and they do it day after day after day. Little baby waves, big waves, they don't give a shit.
Yeah. Well, and they even comment, the two cops are out on the boardwalk, like, looking at it, say, how hard could it be? Cut to Keanu in the water, just biffing it.
Eating the water.
Yeah. And Taylor has to go and save him and berates him.
His dumbass. Yeah, she's 5'6" and, 120 pounds soaking wet.
Right.
And here's this 6-foot
Literally
guy.
soaking wet.
And here's this guy who's from Podunk nowhere, some poser. Like, you can't just come in here and be a surfer and do this life.
Not gonna have to save your ass. Yeah.
So let's talk about a couple of other elements of this movie. One of them being the cast. So we both knew Patrick Swayze and Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
The one I didn't know was Gary Busey is in this movie. So Gary Busey is his hardened partner who's been doing this since you were in diapers.
Yeah, I've been doing this so long. His name is Pappas, which is a weird name.
Yeah, so he's like a fairly minor character, but it's his whole theory that gets them on this course where the rest of the team makes fun of him because he has a theory that these guys are surfers because he saw tan lines.
Yeah.
They live in California. So that on its own is not enough, but he does have other facts to support it, like the wax, sand, like footprints. There's a couple of other
very
factors.
minor things that he is connecting together, but it's all he's got.
And they've been doing this for 3 years and got nowhere.
Yeah, they have robbed 27 banks in 3 years.
And never been caught.
By the end of the movie, it's 30.
Uh-huh. So they go off of his hunch because they don't have anything else to work off
we
of.
got a new set of eyes. Johnny Utah is on the case.
Johnny Utah.
Would you rather it be Johnny Mnemonic?
We haven't watched that, so I don't know, Trent. All I know is at the beginning, there's this sequence where he's like on the gun range in the rain shooting at targets, and the guy says, 100%, great job, Utah. And then you get the smiling Keanu thumbs up gif that I've seen 100 times and didn't know it was from this.
I don't think I've ever seen that before.
Anytime I'm trying to respond with a thumbs up, that is one of the first ones I always see, and I didn't know it was from this movie.
All right.
But yeah, Johnny Utah. I hate that name, but that's all I can really say about it.
It's another name that we've covered on this show. Of like, it's a dude's name plus a place. In in Dune, one of those characters was named something I can't remember, something like that.
It was Duncan, Idaho.
That's right. And they're right next to each other.
I hate it so much. Other stuff about this movie.
Catherine Bigelow
directed this movie, and it was produced by her then husband, James Cameron.
Yeah.
And like an earlier movie we watched where they made a movie together, this was also the year they split up.
Uh-huh.
So I did not know that this was a Catherine Bigelow movie. John C. McGinley is in this movie. This guy goes much further back than I realized, and he is becoming a frequent repeat player on the Never Seen It podcast.
Yeah.
He has shown up in like 3 movies in the last 6 months we've watched.
He was in Wall Street, and what was the other one?
I don't know. I just know I've seen him multiple times recently.
Yeah.
And here he's just John McGinley. He doesn't have the C in the credits.
Right.
And he's the hard-ass
He's the boss.
Who's like, I eat pieces of shit like you for breakfast kind of an attitude.
So you're one of the young kids. Young, dumb, and full of cum, huh?
Oh, God, what a line. There was some truly awful dialogue in this movie, by the by.
Oh, yeah.
Like, awful. That was one of them. There's the part where they're surfing at night, and he just yells, I'm fucking surfing! Woo!
Oh, okay. So, Keanu. Keanu is not the Keanu that we know quite yet. Keanu is still doing his, like, surfer bro, and I know he is a surfer bro in this movie, but the words that are coming out of his mouth are not convincing.
The words he was given to speak, like the scene that stuck out to me was the end, the very end, where he catches up to Patrick Swayze's character on the beach, and he's just like, "It's over. I followed you around the globe.
You've got to go down.
I told them you'd go without a fight." Like, it was just.
It's really bad.
But yeah,
really bad dialogue.
He is like still getting out of the I'm Bill from Bill and Ted.
Yeah.
But he's not quite to the 90s stuff that we know yet.
Yeah.
This one's not great. Like, he's not terrible in this, but some of the dialogue is just so stilted and awful that it just felt real bad when he was speaking.
Yeah. And thankfully, there isn't a lot of dialogue.
There's really not.
I would like to have a time count, a minute count of the amount of surfing sequences in this movie, because I'm sure it's at least 15, 20 minutes.
And they go on for a long time every time.
Yeah. And whether or not they're actually talking with each other while they're surfing is another thing. But still, when you're actually on the board, I would like to have a time count of that.
Yep. We've got a couple other actors in this movie, too. So the main love interest is Lori Petty, who you didn't recognize, but I only know her from literally one other thing. She is one of the leads in A League of Their Own. She's the younger sister.
All right.
And this was truly bizarre for me to see her in this movie because I've only seen her in that, which takes place during World War II.
Right.
And here she's got short black hair.
Right.
And she's like a surfer chick in the 90s. So she's wearing like blue crushed velvet mini dresses. And it's just like, who is this person?
And you only saw that once at the party. And then otherwise, she's just in a wetsuit for the most part. Yeah. Or a nightie.
Yeah. Negligee, an open shirt. Like, she's wearing his shirt and nothing else.
Sure.
And it's not even buttoned up.
Yeah, she's like half naked half the movie.
Yeah, she's naked pretty much most of this movie.
Yeah.
We also have a very, very small appearance by Tom Sizemore, who is uncredited in this movie. He is the undercover DEA agent. And he went on to do, a few years later, Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah.
So he has made some significant movies, but this was early enough in his career that he doesn't have a credit.
Also, he's always playing a cop of some kind.
A thug, a tough guy.
Yeah.
That's sort of his MO.
Yeah.
And then last but not least, one cannot make a movie that takes place in Southern California.
In the 90s.
In the 90s, with long-haired surfer dudes, without including Anthony Kiedis.
Anthony Kiedis.
Lead singer of the Red Hot Chili Peppers, who shows up here, he brought his own no shirt. Because if there's anything I know about that man is he likes to have his chest out.
Yeah. Thankfully, he kept his tube sock at home.
He did, but he's wearing the outfit one would expect him to wear. Like cargo shorts and sneakers with his socks pulled up.
Yeah, and I guess Flea couldn't make it.
No, Flea was not available, which is weird because usually it's Flea who shows up in movies.
Or it's both of them.
I I've never seen one with both of them.
In the Charlie Sheen movie, The Chase, I believe they're both
What?
in that movie. Yes.
No.
Yeah.
Why?
I believe they're both in the movie.
I'm used to seeing Flea show up randomly. He's been on this podcast a few times. I've never seen Anthony Kiedis in anything.
Oh shit! That's a good one. I might have seen something with him before, but I can't remember off the top of my head.
But yeah, if you're making a movie in the 90s in Southern California, you got to get the most California guy we could think of.
Yeah, and that just tells you how far back the Red Hot Chili Peppers have gone.
400 years.
They got popular in the late 80s.
Which means they've been together since almost the 70s at this point.
I have said this before, and I will say it again on this podcast.
To me, anyway. I don't know about on the podcast.
The Red Hot Chili Peppers are the next generation of the Rolling Stones.
They're going to play forever.
They will play the same music about California for the rest of their lives. They're going to be touring when they're 80 years old, 90 years old.
Prop him up.
I don't care. Give Flea a bass and he will wail on it. Yeah.
Fair.
So that's my opinion about the Chili Peppers.
I'm inclined to agree with you, Trent.
Yes.
A couple other things about this. So when they're robbing banks, they show up and they're all wearing masks of former presidents.
Yep.
And Patrick Swayze gets up and he yells, "We are the ex-presidents." So I immediately, of course, went to Saturday Night Live in the 90s, the Saturday TV Funhouse.
Yeah.
They had a cartoon called The Ex-Presidents.
I didn't remember that one.
You don't remember? Oh my God. It is exactly that. And I have to imagine that was inspired by this because it's Jimmy Carter, it's Nixon, and it's Reagan, and who am I missing? LBJ.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's them, but they moved it, I think, one generation slightly later because they didn't have LBJ all the time, or they didn't have Nixon all the time.
Right.
They had Bush and eventually Clinton.
Yeah.
So this was like late 90s, and it was a cartoon called The Ex-Presidents.
I don't remember those. I remember the Saturday TV Funhouse for sure, but it was usually the ambiguously gay duo.
And it's the same animation style, but yeah, I think we'll have to look that up when we're done recording here because that was one that I really enjoyed.
I mean, it does sound familiar, but I don't remember any of the bits.
But that is one of the elements that they took from this movie that they used in Sugar and Spice, which I referenced in the earlier part. Yeah. They're all wearing like a blonde cheerleader wig, and then I think there's one girl who joins the crew later, and she's wearing like a Nixon mask or something that doesn't really fit.
They took the wrong inspiration.
But yes, that is what they drew from this. And then the thing I told you about, in Hot Fuzz, they have a movie night.
Yeah.
And
I do remember
one
this.
of the characters makes the other one watch Point Break. And the clip that they show in Hot Fuzz is Keanu laying on the ground, pointing his gun, and he can't do it, and he shoots into the air, and he just goes, "Ah!" You said, "I've seen this clip." It's like, yeah, in Hot Fuzz.
Yeah, that's the only thing I've seen it in until now. In context, it makes a lot more sense. But again, it's the same kind of deal. Fast and Furious. Paul Walker's character is not wanting to bust these guys. He doesn't want to shoot them. You know, he's too close to them. He's gotten a taste of their lifestyle and he doesn't want to let go.
Right.
All the way to the end where the cop just lets his mark go because he owes him a 10-second wave, or a 10-foot wave in this case.
I owe you a 10-foot wave. Yeah, but it's the same thing like I said earlier. In Fast and Furious, I believe the relationship. I believe these guys to be friends.
Yes.
And of course, the fundamental foundation of the Fast and Furious is family.
Yes.
I don't buy these
There is
two.
no family left, by the way.
No.
Nobody survives this shit.
Right. They, like I said, they're two different movies. But I don't buy those two as friends. Like, sure, he keeps showing up at his house and saying, "Let's go surfing, come to my party." Like,
right, and the only reason he goes along with it is because he can watch them more.
Right, but Patrick Swayze doesn't show up till almost half an hour into the movie.
Like I clocked it. It was 24 minutes into the movie. Patrick Swayze does not show up.
So they show him surfing at the beginning, but he's not a relevant character. When he finally shows up, he's not there for very much of it. They play football and he knows who he is from playing college football. Right. And then all of a sudden they're just friends. Like, I wish they'd had more scenes together.
Well, and Patrick Swayze, Bodie is what he's referred to. He recognizes him because he apparently, I don't know where he has the time to watch college football.
With all his surfing.
Right. But they have this memory of him playing really well for an Ohio State team. I guess why would a California surfer care about Ohio State? That's the number one question I would say.
Well, he did say it was like a bowl of some kind. Like
he was in the Rose Bowl.
Yeah, he played the Rose Bowl and he got all fucked up and
blew his knee out.
Blew his knee out, and that's why he never went pro, which is why now he quote went to law school.
Right. And also in Fast and Furious, he's using his real name and using his real background, except for the fact that he's a cop.
To a point.
Yeah.
Like he lies to the girl.
Yeah.
Because her parents died in a plane crash.
Oh yeah.
So he manipulates her emotionally.
That's fucked up.
And at the beginning, when he was just using her, it's like, okay, that's like a cop tactic. Fine,
Yeah.
he's getting what he wants. But yeah, that's a real dark way of getting in with this girl.
Yeah, Paul Walker did it better. He actually admitted it.
Yeah, he just flat out said, I'm stupid.
Yeah, Taylor comes in, fucking guns blazing, shoots his pillow next to his head.
Uh-huh.
And,
Yeah. Tits out and guns akimbo.
Gun. No, there's only one. Come on.
I'm so sorry. Her guns were out and her tits were,
Okay. Yes. And before we move on from like the surfing sequences and the football sequence, during the football sequence, there was a song. Did you notice the song in the background?
No.
It was a weird Smoke on the Water.
What?
Kind of a cover thing.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like a weird modern take on Smoke on the Water.
No, I did
not notice that. It was dun, dun, dun,
but it was
dun,
like
dun,
if the Red
dun.
Hot Chili Peppers,
like not quite that quick.
A poor man's Chili Peppers.
A 90s version of Smoke on the Water.
I don't like that.
Yeah. There was hardly any kind of like licensed music in this until we got to the very end, the credits. There was a Rat song in the credits.
No, that was Rat.
Because I Shazammed it.
Why?
Because I want to know. Because like movies like this from the era before I started to listen to real music are very interesting to me. Like why would a movie director or whoever choose Rat of all bands who were popular in the early 90s to throw in your movie about surfing? There's got to be better movies or better songs.
I don't know. It doesn't fit the motif to play like surf rock from the 60s.
Not really. It's not that kind of a movie.
We're not playing the Beach Boys or Wipeout.
Yeah. But yeah, after that, the boss calls him in and says, you guys have been on this case for 2 weeks. You have gotten me nothing.
Fuck all.
Why are you just wasting my time and wasting the taxpayers' money for you learning how to surf?
Yep. And so they figure out they've got to get him some kind of lead, and they concoct this weird plan, like there's one stray hair left at one of the bank heists.
Right. Some like rent-a-cop like grabbed the ponytail from one of the guys, and as he pulled away, one of his hairs came out, and they did an analysis on the hair.
Yes, in 1991 they were able to figure out that there's all these chemicals in the hair.
They did a toxicology report on the hair.
Because there's chemicals in the water.
Yeah.
And by that deduction, we can figure out which beach the surfers surf.
But then they had to go and get comparisons. So they had to go to another beach and start surreptitiously taking the hair from would-be surfers.
So this scene didn't really make sense to me. Were they just going to different beaches and figuring out which one matches?
Yes. So like the stoner kids who were underneath the blanket, Gary Busey went up to him and says, "I'm gonna cut a piece of your hair off." It's like, don't worry about it, man. He didn't bust us, but he cut my hair.
Yeah, everybody has freaking ridiculous hair in this movie.
Oh yeah, it
was the 90s, baby.
It's great though. Fucking Patrick Swayze, man, that guy looked good.
I hated his blonde beard.
oh, Betsy, come on. If I had blonde hair, you would think I wouldn't have a beard like that?
Okay, most guys who have blonde hair cannot grow a beard, and if they do, it's the wrong color.
I guess. But you know what? If you can do it, more power to you. I like it.
Like, I get the Thor joke, why they kept calling him Point Break, because blonde hair, blonde beard, fine. But then at the end of the movie, he's, incognito, and he's chopped it all off, and he just looks like Patrick Swayze.
Right.
He looks like a completely different person with the long hair and a beard, and then with his Patrick Swayze hair.
True.
But that's just me. Whatever.
Yeah, dude was a fucking beefcake. Seriously. Good God.
Anyway, back to where we were. So they're on the beach, and he goes and finds this group of thug surfers who want to kick his ass. And that's where they find this other group that has like a long list of felonies.
Yeah, he was out surfing, and he got in front of one of the other surfers who was out there. He
did not. That guy was just an asshole.
Well, he was, but he got all tangled up with him, and he was pissed off about it because that's a good way to get killed.
Well, surfing in general is a good way to get killed.
It's true, but if you're doing it stupidly, But they confront him as he's washing off all the salt water, and this is where we meet Anthony Kiedis and his crew.
And they have this scene where they're going to do a raid on their house.
Yeah.
And they've all got 1 million guns because they have drugs in the house.
Right, they're all hopped up on crank.
Mm-hmm. And Anthony Kiedis shoots himself in the foot.
Yep. And this whole sequence was way, way crazy. Because it
went to 11 very quickly.
It was shot very quickly, and it went on for a long time.
Well, and there's a guy mowing the lawn, and
the neighbor is mowing the lawn.
They Keanu chases one guy. No, sorry, he doesn't chase him. He shoves him out a window, and then they're wrestling on the lawn, and the lawnmower is still there running on its side, and I immediately started cringing because I was like, oh no, something's gonna happen with the lawnmower. This is the part of the movie that got really bloody. There was starting to be a body count.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh no, not the lawnmower, please.
Well, and inexplicably, it is an open face lawnmower, for lack of a better word.
I mean, it's the late 80s style.
But it's a motorized one. I've never seen a motorized one of those.
I guess.
That is the open style.
They were still designing the modern lawnmower, I guess.
I guess? I don't know, but I've never seen that before. Maybe they just made it for the movie just because. I don't know.
I was just glad that nobody's face went into the lawnmower. No. Nobody's limbs. Nobody's
he
nothing.
just used it to disarm him.
Yeah, it was just a sequence to freak me out, and then it was fine.
Mm-hmm.
So they have this kind of weird sequence in the middle, and after that, they go and hang out with the other gang. And at this point, you kept saying, "Oh God, it's Toretto! It's always
Toretto, Brian.
It's them! It's always been them!" It's like, Of course it's them. Who else would it be at this point? And while they're on the surfboards out on the water, one of the guys pulls his pants down and bares his ass, which is what he did at the beginning of the movie, and it said "thank you" at the bank robbery.
In the footage,
So Keanu figures out, because this guy pulls his pants down, that this is the crew.
Mm-hmm. I know that ass.
That's the giveaway, is he pulled out his butt.
It's usually something stupid.
Oh my God. He just needed to be caught. And they identified his buttocks.
Yep.
But after that scene, because now he's like, oh God, it's these guys, Keanu starts following them around, which we don't see. We don't get that sequence.
He just says, he meets up with Gary Busey again, and he says, okay, I've been following them around. They went to this savings and loan place. Then they went here. They went
to
back.
This bank.
They're casing the joint.
They're going to be there tomorrow or the day after at the latest.
Yeah.
And they have a little stakeout. The two of them wait outside the bank for these guys to show up. And they do. But because Gary Busey is an idiot, he says, go get me 2 sandwiches. 2, Trent.
2 meatball sandwiches at this place.
Hey, 2 sandwiches. Give me 2 sandwiches.
Okay, let's just stop here for a second. I don't think I've seen Gary Busey in a lot of things. I've seen him in a few. The one that always comes to mind is he plays a traffic cop in Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. It's near the end of the movie. He stops Johnny Depp, and it's just a really strange sequence where he's he doesn't want to bust him. He's clearly high out of his mind, and he has drugs on him all over the place.
Gary Busey or Johnny Depp?
Johnny Depp.
Because I would believe it was Gary Busey.
Sure, but no, Gary Busey's a cop, and he pulls him over because he was doing whatever. And he tells him, okay, I'm going to order you to go down to this rest area down the street. You're going to pull over and you are going to sleep. Sleep it off, whatever it is that you're on, and you will not drive anymore. You will not do anything else. You're going to go here and sleep because I don't want to bust you for whatever reason. It's a weird movie. Go watch Fear and Loathing. It's a weird movie.
But that's the only thing you have context for Gary Busey, other than being crazy in his older age.
He's just fucking crazy. No, as an actor, this movie is the most I've actually seen him act in.
Fair enough. So going back to it, they have this sequence where Keanu's ordering sandwiches, and they're going to eat the sandwiches.
And just
but
in the
background,
we have these people showing up, and Keanu sees the car pull up.
Well, he sees the car after they get out.
After they get out, right. He walks back to his car, and he says, hey, did you see that Lincoln pull up?
Yeah, and then, of course, did you find the irony in that it's a Lincoln and they're the ex-presidents? But anyway, I did have a slight problem. Of course, there's the big chase scene. This is 1991, and they are driving these big goddamn vehicles. This would not be an easy chase in a fucking Lincoln.
No? But you know what? They're built like a brick shithouse, Betsy.
They are, which is why they keep hitting things and manage to keep going until they roll over like the spikes, speed spikes or whatever.
And while this is happening, did you notice that they are having this chase sequence in a mall parking lot?
No, but once you said it, it was like, oh, I guess that makes sense.
Because you can see the parking garages all around the mall. You can see the facade of the mall. You can even make out a small piece of a store logo on the outside of the building. They don't show the whole thing. Yeah, they don't show the whole thing, but it is clearly there. That is a mall.
I'm going with Sears, Trent. We're going with Sears.
It was red. It might have been JCPenney. I don't know.
Or that.
Anyway.
But they have to stop the car, and they stop at a gas station.
Oh, yeah, this
and
sequence.
Take the car from a guy there, and then there's another dude filling up his gas tank, and Patrick Swayze turns the gas pump into a flamethrower.
Holy shit. I have never seen this before in my life.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's an insane person's
He is
move.
torching the other car that they were driving to get rid of whatever DNA evidence that they have inside of it so that they can't bust them.
I guess, but they didn't do that with any other car. Why this one?
I don't know.
What's so special about this other than I want to light some shit on fire?
I honestly do not know.
It was weird. It was a lot. It escalated
Holy
very quickly.
Shit. But yeah, Gary Busey shows up and shoots the back windows of that car, and then they get away.
And there's a chase scene on foot through like alleyways and houses.
The car drives off, but Keanu shows up and tackles.
And his whole cover is completely blown at this point.
I suppose,
because he got out of the car and started screaming FBI agent.
Yeah, and this is where we have the on-foot chase, and they get all the way to the LA River. I would like a count of all of the movies that are shot in LA where they somehow use the LA River or that basin.
I don't think you're allowed to make a movie in Los Angeles without including a scene at the LA River.
It comes in the contract.
I think so. When the city is cutting out licenses to allow you to film, there is a slight addendum in there
yes, there's
saying
a clause.
You must film at the LA River. Them's the rules.
Yeah, I think this is maybe the third movie we've covered because Drive was there. He was driving in the LA River.
Yep.
And I can't remember the other one.
I also can't remember the other one, but this one also, if you're thinking back to this era, 1991, this is a movie related to James Cameron.
What else possibly would have filmed in the LA River in 1991?
So yeah, there's the sequence, and that ends with him firing his gun in the air because he's too close. He's too close.
He can't do it. He can't do it. He had him dead to rights, and he didn't pull the trigger.
But of course, I understand at this point Bodhi's kind of line of thinking where he knows who Johnny is.
Yes.
He knows what Johnny is.
And his crew does too.
But Johnny can't actually prove that this is him. He never saw his face.
Yep.
So it's kind of this cat and mouse thing where he could just play dumb.
Yeah.
And that's basically what he does, where he shows up at the house. He's like, oh, come on, we're going to go do this thing.
Right.
And they're going to threaten him. But before they do, they all jump out of a plane together.
Well, and this is also after Taylor finds out that he's a cop, and she shoots the pillow, and this is after he fucks up his knee falling into the LA River.
Jumping in.
Right. So we assume that if Bodhi didn't recognize him on sight, then Taylor absolutely went to tell everybody because, I mean, what else is she gonna do? She wants to protect her friends.
And even that, it was like so loosey-goosey. Like, she just found his badge. Or did he call and tell her? Like, I felt like there was a little element missing there.
Well, I don't know, because again, remember, he was going to tell her something and he said, this is going to change our relationship. And maybe she got curious and started searching his shit.
I don't know. I kind of wanted just a little bit more, like one little scene, a phone call, something to give me more context there, because it just didn't really make a whole lot of sense.
You could have had a very quiet scene where she's like going through his stuff somehow, and she finds it.
Him. Yeah, or finds it accidentally.
But then you can't have her standing there in his shirt with her tits out. You can't have that on screen then.
Oh, fine. Whatever.
Yeah.
And then he gets taken out to an airplane, and they're all going to jump out of a plane. And there's kind of this scene where, like, he's suspicious that they're going to, like, kill him. And they have this big back and forth where, oh, you don't want that pack. You don't want this pack.
Yeah.
But they just are jumping as it's the end of the season, and this is our final rush before we move on to the next place.
Right. This is a tradition for them. They're going to do this every year.
And you are coming with us, and he fucking loves it because he's becoming an adrenaline junkie.
And that's why I keep on saying that it's not that Bodhi and Johnny are friends. It is Bodhi is bringing Johnny into this life, and Johnny likes it. He really likes it. By the end of the movie, he realizes he doesn't want this other kind of thrill of being a cop. What he wants is Bodhi's life.
Fast and Furious. Sorry,
right.
Something in my throat. I'm sorry.
Exactly. And and at the end, when they're talking on the beach, he asks him, "So you still been surfing?" Every day. He's continuing to surf every day, and he's not a part of any crew. He just does it because he loves it.
He loves it. Yeah, and like this is the part of the movie where, I don't know, it got real weird real fast, I guess, because we're heading to the climax and we need to wrap some things up. And you have to
have some kind of stakes here.
Yeah.
Somebody needs to be under threat. So after the sequence of them falling out of the plane, he brings them over to this van where there's a very tiny TV, and they show him a tape of his girlfriend with a knife to her neck.
Tied up.
Yeah, tied up, and she's a hostage. There's no dialogue there. It's just footage of one of their buddies, and she's captive.
Yeah, and so Bodhi wants him to go along with this plan.
Yeah, and he addresses Johnny Utah as Special Agent Johnny Utah.
Yeah, and
so everybody knows everybody's business, and he knows that they're a thing, and they're in love, and blah, blah, blah. So this is a way to basically make him an accomplice to everything.
You're coming along with us. We're going to rob a bank. You don't get a mask. He has to go in there with his face out in the open.
Right.
And for some reason, I mean, again, inexplicably, they set up that they're in and out of banks in 90 seconds, and they only take the money from the tills.
Yeah.
They never go for the vault. And this time he says, go to the vault.
Yeah.
And that's when everything goes wrong. But there's no real understanding of why he's doing that now.
No, not at all.
It just sort of happens. He decides to do it, and he does it. And two of his guys get shot. One of them dies there.
Right.
When they get to the airport and Keanu catches up with them, two more of them get shot. One of them dies there.
Yeah.
And they get on the plane, and he just keeps going along with them and going along with them and going along with them. And he doesn't have a gun. And Gary Busey dies.
Yeah, and by the end, he's just stuck up there in the plane with this pilot who does not want to be there. And instead of telling the pilot to go and land the plane somewhere, he decides, no, I'm just going to jump out the plane without a parachute and grab this gun first.
I would say if there's one moment in this movie that made me go, what the actual fuck, I'm invested.
Yeah.
It is when Johnny Utah just dives out of a plane without a parachute.
Yeah.
And it's like, what the fuck?
With
a gun.
After one session of him jumping out of a plane, he is apparently an expert on how to control his body in mid-flight.
And catch the guys who jumped out seconds ahead of him.
Right.
Yeah, so it's a compelling scene.
Yeah.
He pulls it off, and it's again this, like, Bodhi is not afraid to die, clearly.
Oh, yeah.
He knows that Johnny has to drop the gun to pull the chute, and he refuses to pull the chute. He says, you do it. You do it. You do it. Shoot me. What am I going to do?
Calmly, knows exactly what's going to happen. Yeah, he's done this hundreds of times.
Yeah, and he wins the day, and he gets away, and he gets the money, and nobody else is left to tell the tale.
Which, by the way, at that ending sequence, I didn't really see him take any money.
There was a bag, so his buddy that died at the end, jumping out of the plane. He
had the money.
He had the bag of
money. Okay, that's right.
By the time he hit the ground, he was dead.
Right.
And so he took the bag from him and drove off with the only other guy living on his crew.
Yeah.
And the next time we see them, because it was weird, there was like 10 whole minutes left of the movie at this point. It's like, is that the end of the movie? He gets the girl, he gets away. What's happening
here? They just going to fade out on them in Mexico and that's where they're going to live? And
the end?
Like use the rest of the money that he left?
Yeah,
I don't know.
But they cut to like a year later. Did they say?
No, they didn't say a word.
Okay.
All they say is that it's in Australia because
so,
there's a radio thing going, and they're saying it's the storm of the century. Which, by the way, we haven't mentioned yet.
Yeah, they had a conversation earlier in the movie where Bodhi basically says every 50 years there's this big storm, and it's coming, and it's like
Mother Nature's way of making sure that the human race knows that it's there.
And it's the biggest waves and the craziest surfing, and you'd better believe I'm gonna be there. I wouldn't miss it for the world.
Yeah.
So Johnny has been able to track him around the world to this beach at this moment, and this is where their final showdown is gonna happen. And he hasn't even gone out there because he's just standing there looking at these waves. And who looks at that and thinks, that'll be fun?
Right.
Those waves are absolutely intense. You know what I thought of in this moment? Orange County.
Yep.
At the beginning of the movie Orange County, Colin Hanks and his buddies are little surfer dudes in California, and one of them goes out in this crazy storm. He's the only one who does it, and he dies. So all these teens are like, oh man, our buddy died. Oh man.
Yeah.
Let's do it for him.
And then they have a funeral on the beach, and they load up they want to load up the surfboard with like M80s and go and blow it up out in the ocean.
Yep, we're going to blow up his
A year
surfboard.
later, that's what they wanted to do, but they don't. Anyway, go watch Orange County. It's not as bad as what people say. It's good.
It's worth 80 minutes of your life or whatever that movie is.
Oh, yeah. I like Orange County.
It's grown on me. I didn't like it the first time, but the more I've watched it.
It's one of the first like MTV like movies that was all made by the MTV Corporation, I guess.
Screams MTV.
Yes.
Which is why it's like, nah, you can invest 80 minutes in this.
Yep.
But they find him on the beach. There's this major storm. Keanu's hair is longer. Patrick Swayze's hair is shorter. And he cuffs him, and all the cops are coming. And he's like, I told him you wouldn't go without a fight.
This weird fight on the beach, too. I did not like their fight.
I don't know.
He was like a lot of flips and
like he's gonna drown him, but he can't do it.
Sure.
And then when he comes up, they're handcuffs
together. He comes up in handcuffs and But
he's like a bird. You can't put me in a cage, man. Just let me have one ride. And so
where am I gonna go? I'm not
gonna go?
I'm not gonna swim to New Zealand.
No.
But at that point he knows. Yeah, if he goes out there, he ain't coming back.
Yeah, that's why he hasn't gone out there yet, because those
knows.
waves will fucking kill you.
Yeah.
And that's what happens. And all the cops are like, we'll get him when he comes back. I'm sorry, I can't do an Australian accent.
Yeah, that was more of a New Zealand.
Shut up.
Just work on it. But no, like, he knows between a rock and a hard place, he would rather die than be locked in a cage.
Yep. And he says he's
Vin Diesel, anybody.
Yeah, we'll get him when he comes
back. I'll never go back.
He's not coming back.
And then he throws his... I knew it. I knew he was going to throw his badge into the fucking ocean.
Return from whence you came.
Yes, he throws his badge into the ocean. End of movie. So...
So I think is it a bad movie? No.
I can absolutely see.
I get why people like this.
Yeah, where a lot of inspiration was taken from this movie.
Yes.
Not just Fast and the Furious. We keep on harping on that because there's so many comparisons.
They're very similar.
Yeah. Well, Betsy, is there any other thoughts you had before we get out of here?
The only thought I had that immediately comes to mind is about Catherine Bigelow. I love that she makes these kinds of movies that I guess you wouldn't expect.
From a woman?
So to speak, yes, because there is a bad rap about women directing movies in general. They don't get to do it very often.
Yep, and when they do, especially back then, they have to do movies like this.
They would do fucking rom-coms and shit.
Sure.
Like that was their bread and butter, the bread and butter for female directors in like the late 80s and early 90s.
Adaptation of Pride and Prejudice, like the stuff for the ladies.
Yeah, so I love that she's like, fuck you guys, I'm making Point Break.
I'm making a fucking bro-ass bro movie, and you're gonna love it.
Yeah, and I had no idea she directed this, and that's what I love about her, is that I didn't know she directed this, because you would assume this is the kind of movie that some bro dude made.
Yeah.
No, I love that. I mean this as a compliment. Do not think in any way I am defaming the name of Catherine Bigelow. I fucking love that she's like, I want to make the movies I want to make, and this is what I want to make. I love that.
And she did a movie like Zero Dark 30 that, again, it is a female lead in that movie, but that's the real life story of how we got Bin Laden.
Yeah.
Like, this CIA agent just happens to be a woman, just like the director happens to be a woman, and she has there's nothing about the story or how she's doing it that makes it any different that she is a woman or the character is a woman. There's no fucking difference.
It's almost like men and women can do the same things.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Right. Yeah. I am reminded, this is a crass joke, so I apologize. I am reminded of a thing where a woman comedian is talking about, about the idea that, women can't be comedians. Well, if comedy is a men's game, then I'll strap it on. It's like, come on. I'm just going to do what you're doing. I'm going to be funnier about it. So suck my dick, you know? Metaphorically speaking. Anyway, so Betsy, I like this movie. I think this has been one on our list for a while now.
Absolutely.
And we love to go back and watch these 80s and 90s action movies that we just completely missed out on.
We were too little. We were too young to appreciate it.
And I really had no desire to go back and watch any of these movies until we started with this podcast and doing a couple of them. Because, damn it, they're not just like these dumb action movies that you can't get anything out of. No, they're amazing.
And now that it's wet your whistle,
I want to keep going. So we're absolutely going to continue on this path. We're not doing a series yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. We're going to sprinkle them in. We'll probably do another Arnold movie and a Sylvester movie and a Van Damme movie.
There's many to choose from.
Yes.
But that's going to be it for this one. We do have one email today from our super fan.
What?
So this is from Stephanie, and it's titled Clerks 2. So a movie we did just recently.
Yeah.
Clerks 2. What a fun movie. I watched this in college when it came out on DVD. Hey, remember DVDs?
Yes.
Those were fun. It is pretty standard view askew fare, which makes it great in my book. Agreed.
Yeah, they're all kind of the same, but that's what makes it great.
It is a style, it is a voice, it is
especially
what it
when
is.
It's just the same characters doing a similar thing. I don't care. I like these characters. That's all I care about.
Dude, we talked about the movie series The Trip recently.
Yes.
Guys, there are 4 movies in this series. It's The Trip to Italy, The Trip to Spain, and The Trip to Greece. And it is the same 2 guys playing themselves, and they riff for 4 movies. It is contextually the same fucking movie, and I do not care. It is amazing.
It's the same movie in 4 different locations, and they're talking about different things and having different meals. That's about it.
Yeah, but they're brilliant, and you should watch them.
It's fucking hilarious, especially if you love British humor.
Dry,
yes,
stupid British humor. I love it. Back to the email. Rosario Dawson is a great addition and fits better than Ellen Pompeo would have. Looking forward to Clerks 3.
Yeah.
Congrats on 150 episodes. You guys rock. Thank you, Stephanie.
Thank you.
moving away from Friends sucks. How would I talk to you guys if you didn't have a podcast for me to comment on?
There's no way to talk to us whatsoever, Stephanie.
I mean, sometimes I text Betsy, but this gives me a topic to talk about bi-weekly. It's true. Trent, hold out. Don't watch Transformers unless you drink a lot and full-on mystery science theater that shit. Love and miss you, superfan Stephanie.
I don't think that we haven't thought about like doing a what is it? The Prime watch along where on Amazon Prime. On the Prime Video, you can watch a movie and have like guests on and stream it at the same time on Twitch.
And everyone can join you. You send
Everybody
out like,
can do
we're
the
watching
same
this
thing.
this day at this time.
Right. Like
we've talked about it.
We've talked about doing it, but I don't think we would do it for Transformers.
That's what you think. That is what you think. One day, guys, I'm gonna wear him down. He's gonna watch this trash movie with me.
Why do you want me to watch this trash?
Because you love it! I saw the first, 3 in the movie theater.
Fuck.
Why? I don't know, because I was young and stupid, and I had a great time.
I don't need to see Shia LaBeouf in anything.
You don't need to
or
see...
Megan
You're
Fox.
wrong.
Or
You're wrong.
Who else is in those movies?
Other people.
Thank you.
John Turturro.
Okay, then I'm in.
There, see? I win. I win. Right. But if you too would like to contribute to the conversation about whether Trent should or should not watch Transformers,
the answer's no.
Or any thoughts about the View Askewniverse, or Keanu and his...
Or surfing.
We
are experts.
Obviously. You too can email us, neverseenitpod@gmail.com. You can follow us on Twitter, neverseenit_pod. We're also on Facebook and Instagram. It's neverseenitpod1. That's the number 1. You can support the show by clicking the link in the podcast description on Anchor. You can rate us, share us with your friends, and put out the good word about what we're doing here on Never Seen It.
If we had a book, we would put it out and call it the good book. I don't know.
But that's going to be all for today. There's going to be another couple of random ones in here before we dive into any more series, so we don't know what'll be next.
Nope.
We'll figure that out when we do it.
Next time we sit at this table, we'll figure it out.
There you go. But in the meantime, this has been Never Seen It. I am Betsy.
And I am Trent.
And we will catch you next time.
See ya.